So here we have an Xbox One controller where the thumbsticks have been chewed on by my children. So we're going to replace these thumb screws today. The first step is to remove both of these back panels. They're little clips that make sure that things don't pop off. So the green pry bar can pop underneath and pull it up. And like that, you heard a little click. That meant one of the clips came undone. One of the clips is at the very peak, and I find that that is the one that's the hardest to get off in this process without damaging anything. Included in this set is also a brush, which I'm going to use to remove some of this cruft that has built up over time. And removing these two backings will expose 4 of the 5 screws that we're going to have to unscrew with this Torx screwdriver. Right there. That's the one. And there we go. Both back panels are off, so we're going to go ahead and take those screws out. With the screws out, we still can't take off the faceplate because there's one more screw. And that screw is underneath this sticker. So to get the sticker off, I'm going to start with one of the green pry bars again, just to get a little bit of an edge. And this is not included in the set, but I'm going to use a pair of tweezers for this. You can just scrape it off, but using tweezers will allow you to put this back on and reserve, the appearances. And you can see the little dimple there, and you're like, oh hey, we've almost got it. No, that's a false alarm. That is not the screw. The screw is further south. There it is. There's the hole. Now you can start to see it a little bit. So I get the screwdriver out again, and now I can get this last screw out of there. There, with all 5 screws removed, the faceplate will now pop off very easily. So you can do a lot of replacements here. Like I said, today we're going to do a thumbstick replacement because those are the pieces that were chewed. The thumbsticks will actually pop right off. You pull them straight out. Just don't pull the entire thing out. And then you can put on the replacements. Because I still have children and they still like to chew, I'm replacing mine with these metallics. No more plastics to chew on. There is a direction to these, so they can only go on in one of 2 directions. So you have to make sure you put it on correctly. And it slides right on, and you're good to go. This is a little bit difficult because the gimbals will try to move underneath it. You have to put it on straight. And if it doesn't go on straight, it's not going to work out right. But there you go. That went on pretty easily, and this is something that definitely improves with practice. Your first time, you're going to have a hard time, but give them a test. Make sure they move, that they click, that you hear that clicking. And if you hear all that, you're good to go. We're going to take a little break here to finish the cleanup because there's still a lot of that cruft, and we'll be right back. All right, now we're ready to reassemble. We've got the worst of the cruft out of there, and we're going to put this thing back together. To put it back together, you just go in reverse order. So you put the faceplate back on first. This will keep everything in place when we turn it upside down, which we have to do to put the screws in. Pull the label back and put the screw into the hole. Hold the faceplate firm and screw it in. With it nice and tight, you can see that the faceplate is not coming off. You can lay the label back down flat again. Just like any set of screwing, you don't want to do this too tight on any one of them. Make sure you get all of them in, and then tighten up all 4 of them at the very end, so that it's nice and balanced. All right, with all 4 in, I'm going to give each of them a quick tighten, make sure that they're good. Don't want to over tighten these, but want to make sure that they stay tight. Make sure that they are all securing the front piece the way they're supposed to. The back plates get clipped back on again. You don't have to worry about putting them on the wrong way. You can't. Clip them all in, and they're good. Clip them all in, and they're good. Now, it's also important to test things out after you've done this. Oftentimes, right afterwards, the triggers will be stiff. They won't have caught quite right. So test out the triggers, and if it's not quite right, you can give it a little squeeze and then push it in. And sometimes it just has to be pulled a little bit harder, and then it puts everything back into place. In this case, everything went in perfectly. And now here we have our original controller. But instead of the chewed up thumbsticks, we have some brand new metallic ones. And we're ready to play.